Happy spooks,
Mm.
trick or treat, and hello, everybody out there in the land of the internet and internet land. Welcome back to another episode of the No Skill Podcast. Hello. How's everybody doing out there with this bonking internet land? Welcome back to the No Skill Podcast. Welcome back to the campsite. A very spooky episode ensues. This is going to be a good one, fellas, because as of this recording, it is Halloween. It is Halloween. It is the spooky day of the year. Honestly, I can say this. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays out of all the
Really?
holidays. Yes, I love Halloween. I think Halloween is absolutely great. But before we go down that road, introductions as usual. I am your lovely host. I am DJ. To my right, to your left. To my right, to your left is Mikey.
Hello, I am cosplaying as a millennial as I have my kicks, my jeans, and my hoodie, and that's all I can afford.
I'm wearing anime stuff, and I'm an anime girl. Hi. And then to my left, your right is Brandon.
Hello.
So
That's all I
yes, huh? All right, that's fine, dude. That works. You at least said hi, dude. No, I still remember during the tavern talk. You haven't seen that? You should absolutely go see it. We talked about dating stories. I introduced Mikey, and he was radio silent for about 5 seconds. And I'm like, you're just not gonna say hi to the folks? Really?
You know, man, it was
Really?
that tavern talk. Some of the subject matter we got into gave me some flashbacks from when I was like young and happy and like not disillusioned with adult life.
Still had
So
dreams
yeah,
and aspirations.
I could get up in the morning without hearing 3 horrible snaps from my knee to my ass to my neck.
That's my. So remember, I had the aspirations to be a astronaut rock star, and my ultimate goal was to put on a full stage set in space.
You know, you wanted to be Johnny Silverhand from Cyberpunk.
No, I wanted to be Johnny Gat from Saints Row 3. Saints Row 2,
Johnny
I
Gat
think.
didn't do any of that though.
He was just a badass, though.
Yeah, but Johnny Silverhand was a rocker boy who made it to space.
He's also Keanu Reeves, so I'll give him that. Halloween, though.
Yeah, see? Halloween.
Welcome back. We're going to have a myriad of things to talk about. Trick-or-treating stories, urban legend stories. Is your house haunted? Mine is. And I kind of just wanted to have to go down this merry lane of mischievous mysteries. So first off, I said Halloween is my favorite holiday. We're going to go down the line. What do you think of Halloween, Brendan?
Oh, I love it. Just like you, it's my favorite holiday of the year.
Let's go.
Around this time, I love just spending time, hours and hours of just horror movies. I love playing horror video games. Anything just scary. I just don't even touch any of it pretty much the entire year, and I just spend all of that in 1 month. I love it.
Oh, so you burned through like the entirety of what of like the spooky season, all of it in October.
Basically.
That's always good though.
Tourist.
What?
Oh, what the fuck you mean tourist?
We live that life. We spooky all year round, baby.
It's not like I don't watch horror movies throughout the year. I just watch a lot of it.
Because I'm always one for like, you know what, as long as I love spooky stuff, I love the scary season, and I can sit there and like Mikey said, it doesn't need to be October for me to do scary shit. It's just, I guess you could say it's more acceptable because
that is fair.
Because then there's your window of like, okay, now we can actually go around and do shit
without people thinking that you're insane.
I mean, if people think I'm insane, I don't fucking care. In the great words of Avenged Sevenfold, I'm not insane.
Don't start.
Yeah, please don't.
I'll start singing, and then we get demacked, and then I get yelled at.
Anyway, what do you think of Halloween?
I love it, dude. I'm a sucker for horror movies, horror video games, creepypastas, SCP, internet lore. I love listening to fucking wild Reddit and 4chan stories, like the spooky shit. I don't care what anybody says. I'm a sucker for horror.
Yes, I love that stuff.
So you're a horror.
Convenient.
Oh, fuck you, man.
No, I just enjoy it. I know we've talked about it in other episodes, my grandma raised me on horror movies, and
Yes.
dude, like I know that shit like the back of my hand. I love it. Halloween is the cool part of the year where everybody's into it. You can go see the wild movies. Like I am going to see the FNAF movie. I don't
Same.
care what anybody says. I'm going to go see it. Um, yeah, you can see the wild movies. You can go do the events like Not Scary Farm, Universal Horror Nights, your local haunted houses like 13th Floor. What's this crazy one that everybody Netherworld?
Okay.
Yeah, like doing cool shit like that is now acceptable, like you guys said. And dude, I love it. Build the costume, hang out, have the fun. Although this year, because of scheduling conflict and issues and traveling, I don't think I'm doing much for Halloween, and I'm really upset.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same thing for me too. Because I recently heard about I guess it's kind of like a horror, like kind of like house slash cornfield
Uh huh. Uh huh.
out here in my state. But it's so far, it's like I can't justify driving out there. It's
I'm
just
between three
on
of
the
them
other side of
in
the state.
15 minutes in all directions. I
No,
know I give you
Mikey,
shit for living in cornfields. I live in cornfields.
I will say this much though, because like when you start talking about all like the attractions of shit that you can do on Halloween, sadly with scheduling
Yeah.
we can't this year. But one thing I love about Halloween or just the spooky season in general is Halloween didn't have to just end, or at least the spooky season didn't just have to end at trick or treating, and then once you get too big to trick or treat, oh, then Halloween's just another day. I love the fact that
Oh
Halloween
no,
has
oh
something for
no.
anybody of any age, from like
we keep
haunted
the party
houses,
going.
huh?
We keep the party going.
Oh yeah, from like haunted houses to cornfield mazes to haunt experiences, which I've been a part of a couple, and I've some of these haunts are fucking gnarly with
Oh
what
yeah,
they with
they
what they'll
pull
put people through.
zero punches.
Yeah, I
That
think it's
reminds
great.
me. Me and Bunny Girl's homie almost punched out a clown at one of the local haunts.
Like I understand, I know my life is not in danger, and because
Mhm.
if my life were to be in danger, I would sue the fuck out of whatever establishment uh I was residing at. So it's kind of hard for me to get like scared. But when you get like you said, those clowns that might want to just challenge you, double down, and get a little too close, maybe lay a hand on you, it's like we're about to go
No,
wild, wild west.
he had the prop chainsaw and it was loud as shit. So homeboy just dropped back, put the full guard up, and just started winding back with a haymaker. We're like, hey, relax. It's all fun and games. That's a dude making minimum wage. Leave him be.
That dude's making $10 an hour, and he's only going to be there for 2 hours. So relax.
Exactly. Let the man exist.
I still remember something like that. With it was like this little haunted walkthrough where they basically escort you through this haunted mansion,
Mhm.
and uh, at one point you just see this dude behind a butcher's table, and he's hacking away at this corpse with a fake chainsaw. Some girl
Mhm.
calls out, "That's such a fake chainsaw." He puts the fake one down, picks up a real one, revs that bitch, and then just blindly swings it at her. And I'm like, oh, we might die in here.
That
Got
man is
it.
my hero.
I was like, all right, bet. Hold on.
He said, "Oh, you thought, motherfucker."
That man doubled down and went, okay, we're gonna go 3D with it. Let's go.
Oh, she had the confidence to call him out, but was she ready for the quick time event?
Oh no. No. No amount of QuickTime events in any Resident Evil game could have prepared me for what I was about to see in that instant.
Oh no.
But again,
And
that's
we
what
beat the beginning of Resident Evil 4 too many times.
uh-huh. But that's one of the things that I love about Halloween, especially going to like, dude, I love the fact that now like Six Flags or your local amusement parks and fairs are they all have some sort of like scary, spooky attraction, even if it's just a corn maze. And not for
Yep.
none, this might be a hot take. Personally, I don't care for corn mazes. That's just me though. I don't like them. I don't like the fact that hey, so I'm gonna go into here and the point is to get lost and then not be lost.
I get it, especially if you're with a group and it's like you guys are all shooting the shit, getting scared, having fun. I get it, but at the same time, yeah, if you do it once or twice, you get the gist of it.
Like the last time I was in a corn maze, it was before the time where we had to stay inside for a little while. Did you catch what I'm throwing down? And I had this buddy named Cliff. This dude is a bull. Okay, he is just a big hulking dude. He's 6'9", 380, and he's stocky. He's big and he's strong. His wife wanted all of us to go into this corn maze. Reluctantly, we agreed. We were fine just eating hot dogs on the wagon ride while the ladies go and did their thing. He got so annoyed after 5 minutes, he just started walking through the corn. And some official goes, "You can't do that." He just puts up the two middle ones. He's just like, "Fuck you, get me out of here." What?
I've done that, but I didn't get caught. I was third wheeling hella hard. My buddies made some nice lady friends, and I didn't have any luck. So I'm like, hey guys, y'all have a good evening. There's a signal in the sky, and I gotta go. And one of the girls looks up. I'm not gonna say she was blonde, but she believed me. And she said, "What signal in the sky?" And I yelled, "To the corn cave!" And I ripped down an ear of corn, and it made the perfect crunch noise as it apexed. And I just jumped into the fucking cornfield, and they did not see me for 38 more minutes. See, hey, you got to be able to read the room, man. And like, you could be like pouty about it, or you could make the best joke of the evening and try to help set your boys up for success. I made my decision.
Yeah, that's rule one in bro code and man law and any other thing that says, hey, if you see one of the homies is about to get it in and you're third wheeling, find some way to fuck off. You don't need to be there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like when him and old girl about to go through Tunnel of Love, you don't see if they can scooch over for a third. No, you leave it be.
Oh, that's great. And I can't. I want to say something, but I'm not going to because someone would hurt me.
Because I have friends like that. They constantly want to just tag along, and they don't know the high sign of like, hey, it's time for you to, like, not be where you currently are.
You making that Kevin Hart eye contact? Help me.
Word.
my guy, help me, please. Yeah, but dude, like corn mazes are fun. I get what you're like. I'm over this shit, but I think they got their time and place. Certain groups, certain people.
Mm-hmm. And then downline
We
brand. I'm sorry. Go.
Oh, before I forget, I'm just gonna throw this out here. We have like a rated R one out here, and the reason I call it that, it's all fake costumes and stuff. The costumes are gory as hell. It looks like you're walking around a fucking Tarantino film. It is grotesque. So don't take dates to that one. Unless she's unhinged, which I know one or two of those.
No, honestly though, this could just be me. This is something we should have brought up on the dating disasters. Next one we'll have another dating talk about what we should do and shouldn't do on like first or second dates. Idea. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, you heard it here first. What? All right, hey, take that idea. I'll sue you. Okay. All right. So, but some women, they actually enjoy, I think actually taking a girl to a scary thing is fun because that's where you run the chance that you get cuddled up on to comfort her so that way she's not afraid.
I have incriminating details on a friend we all know, and he said, "Save yourself," and pushed her off. And I'm not going to say who it is, but y'all can guess.
I got a couple guesses in mind.
I got two.
One jump scare and she gets the old deuces, bitch.
Bye, Felicia.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
I'm crying.
Like 10
you were saying, DJ.
Yeah, like
save me, I'm charting.
like I understand she might be potentially shitting out her own asshole, but also when she's just like, "Oh my gosh, I'm afraid," I'm like, "Yeah, I got you. I'm the big teddy bear. I'm the protection bear. If anybody comes at you and tries to hurt you, I'm gonna kill him. You just keep holding on to me, please. Don't let go of me ever." But that's just me. Now moving down the bench, I know we spoke about corn mazes. We call that your backyard. Well, but
Yeah.
so what do you think? Like, what before we continue? What do you? What are some wow words? I'm so sorry, audience. I speak English. I swear. Um, what are some activities that you do? What do you think of corn mazes? Do you do them? Do you like them?
I have not been to one, but the fact that you called a cornfield my backyard is also really on par to what is the truth.
Do you go
How
outside?
do you
Do you
not
just
have a
start?
maze?
Do you just go outside and start like snacking on random ears of corn
Bro, if I go outside and go to my fence line, I could probably just touch a corn stalk.
and eat it?
I could, the farmer probably won't know that it was gone.
You should eat it. Just one. And we'll
You
record
say
it
that
just to
it's
get the
going to be
live
2
reaction.
a.m. and silently he's going to be to the corn cave. Crunch.
Well, I want to record it
I
because
very
I
much
want to have
could do
like
that.
I want to have him like not shuck it, and then we just hear him biting through husk.
Oh my
You got to
God.
eat the rind. It's good for you.
Bugs and all.
Bugs and all. Oh, I just pictured it.
I can taste the
Okay.
locusts.
Is that a little bit of earthworm?
That's good insecticide right there.
Oh God. Okay, so corn mazes. That's no go for you. No go for me. He enjoys them. But now I'm gonna move it down the bench. And what are some of what, like? Give me something. What do you like to do? What do you find doing in the spooky months? I know we already said like like watching scary movies, playing scary games and everything. And trust me, we can have an entire episode of just that. We actually do. You should go
Yeah.
check it out. But what outdoor activities do you like doing? Do you still trick or treat? Do you dress up as this?
Mm, if I could afford it, I would, but no. But
It would be really hot. Like it'd be hot inside that suit.
I mean, yes, but in the cold weather, it probably wouldn't be that bad.
You know what? Fair. But
But
continue.
no, if anything, we used to have bonfires, but it's been years since we've had one, so it's like I don't really do much of anything but just watch horror movies.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna be adding my significant other to that list now, but yeah.
Big bonus points. It's better with company.
Yeah.
Another place where you
Watching
can cuddle
horror
when you're
movies.
afraid.
Watching horror movies in a dark room alone at 4 a.m. Creepy. Doing it with significant other romantic. I don't know how the math works out, but it does apparently.
Because 2 + 2 = 27. Hey, so we're scared out of our mind. Watching this nightmare fuel. This is perfect.
2
Let's
+
get
2
together.
= you're not alone watching Jason decapitate somebody.
I mean, to be fair, we're probably not even gonna be watching it anyway.
2 + 2 = welcome to prime time, bitch.
We didn't even get to Netflix. We started chilling hard.
Hard. No pun intended on the hard. Moving forward, before we end on awkward silence of that last failed attempt at a joke, I'm sorry. Be with me. But so but you
That
did
took a hard turn.
yes.
Okay, moving on. Sorry.
God, just move on.
I'm
Sorry.
trying to. He's being a degenerate. Okay. Finally, it's not me for once. Yeah, pass the torch to you. But so then, give me some specifics. Like, what are some of the activities that you go to? Do you have like a horror fest? Do you go and like, do you go prank people on mischief night? Do you ding dong ditch? Are you a hooligan?
I haven't done that like no shit, my guy. 18 years.
What, ding dong ditching?
Like legit out at night pranking bullcrap.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, dude. I fell into a group of friends that was just. I did it when I was really young, and then after that, when we had nighttime activities, we got into trouble. Whether that was my buddy who would legit get a 30-pack mysteriously, no one ever figured out how. and we'd go watch horror movies at somebody's place, or we'd go kick it at like whatever park telling ghost stories. What was the other shit we got up to? I don't know. But when it comes to Halloween now, I do know cosplayers. I do like going to Halloween events that are all cosplayers because nothing sucks worse than being a legit cosplayer and going to a normie Halloween party because you're in your costume, you put a lot of time on and you're really passionate about, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's such a cool character. Where'd you get that? Spirit Halloween?" And you want to just cold clock them every time. Mm.
In my
Mm,
defense,
yeah.
though, the costume was easy. It's Jim fucking Dangle.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm talking like the cosplayers who do ground up work.
Okay.
I'm talking armor. I'm talking props. I'm talking a lot of shit. And dude, it's infuriating when you put so much work into it, and there's some drunk normie who's just like, "That a Power Ranger," and I'm like, "No, it's not, Claire. Fuck off."
Like, I definitely get it, but that's where you have to like differentiate and keep it like keep this in mind of like it's Halloween. I should you. And this is just me though. Like, unless you're really that dead set passionate, you don't need to go full fledged like cosplay work into a costume that you're for one night. Like, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna.
but I'm just saying that's why I go hang out with cosplayers because if I'm gonna put on a costume, I'm not gonna get a fucking ghost face $8.99 mask and a black robe and be like, it's Halloween. Nah, dude. The one normie party I've been to in recent years, I went as fucking Pikachu. I had a Pikachu onesie. I don't give a shit that I'm built like a brick shit house. I don't give a fuck. I showed up. It killed it, bro. It slayed a hella drunk chicks. Oh my god, you're Pikachu. That's adorable. And I'm hella short, so they're all looking down on me, of course. But yeah, it's a good time. Like I want to have fun with the costume. If it's socially acceptable for me to wear it, I'm wearing it. I'm in that motherfucker.
First off, big ups to Short Kings. All right, always remember that. But again, that's why I just went with the cheap Jim Dangle costume from Spirit, all because I'm a gargantuan man, and me in short shorts is going to be funny. Okay,
Fair.
and like for those that have been around for a while, there's a couple thumbnails on past videos where you see me in the Jim Dangle costume. One of which I'm facing off against. Oh shit, what's his name?
Steven Seagal.
Yeah, Steven Seagal. I won, by the way. Don't tell him that. But
It's a glorious sight to behold.
Yeah.
I forgot to take pictures of the for this one because I would have taken pictures and uploaded them again. I might still do it since I sell the costume. My roommate said she could sew pockets into them, and I went, if you can put pockets in these shorts, I will wear these regularly. Don't think that I won't do it.
DJ,
That is
do me a favor and do them with a solid color wall behind you.
Like, I will absolutely, these will be a part of my regular attire. I'll put like the Jim Dangle shorts plus like a denim battle jacket, aviators, and I have a mohawk.
with the black Air Force Ones.
Yeah, it's gonna be hot. But yeah, I went to the bar wearing this costume. They had like 3 different costume contests. The first one was scariest, and the guy that won was a black guy in a banana suit. That was it. His competition was Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas, and no, not Donnie Darko. What's his name? Brandon Lee's character from The Crow. I forgot his name.
Crow?
The Crow, yeah.
And a banana one. And then
see, this is why I hate normies on Halloween. Oh my god, my costume is so ironic and funny. Shut the fuck up. You're the same person who shows up as Piku Yasha, and I don't want to fucking talk to you.
I should tell you right now, with my $20 Spirit Halloween, I won sexiest, and I was up against Wendy Peppercorn from The Sandlot, Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil 8. And
yeah, dude, you have a fucking 9-iron in short shorts. I mean, that's cheating. My guy's got 2 batons in this fucking utility belt. If you get what I'm saying.
Wendy Peppercorn was not happy with me. She let it be known.
Hey, I'm just saying, people like the sexy cop.
Yeah.
The first
You know,
thing that
slutty
comes
cops in
out of
right now.
my buddy Zach's mouth as soon as he sees me walk up to the bar, he was just like, "The thighs are out." Yes. And I'm like,
Sun's out, guns out, baby.
I'm tapping my thighs. I'm not hearing it.
Talking about you. No, never mind. What?
You're nasty. Yeah, so
Oh,
but that's some of the hijinks I like getting into. The pranks thing I can understand is like I stopped doing pranks. Like the only pranks I really pulled back in the day, it's like my friends and I, we would call our girlfriends to have them meet us at the park, and we would be nowhere around, and they would just make random noises and shit to scare them.
That's fun. I you know.
We know the joke
I
was
know. I
over.
don't get it, man.
Well, we knew the
What's
joke was
up?
over when one of our girlfriends all of a sudden just yelled, "I have pepper spray." We're like, she actually
All
does.
right, calm down. Ceasefire.
White flag, white flag. No, 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 no.
Peace.
Nobody wants to end Halloween in an ER getting their eyes flushed out because their girlfriend pepper sprayed them out of fear.
What happened?
So how'd you get
My
here?
girlfriend
We
pepper
pulled.
sprayed me. Why? I was being
We
a dick.
pulled a prank.
I was being a dick. Why? Because I love her. It goes back to the whole
Yeah, dude.
a little piece of
I
heaven being
don't.
everybody's love song. Go ahead.
I don't do the prank things. I try to, when I do costumes, I try to hang out with cosplayers because showing up with normies isn't fun. If I want to like do Halloween stuff, I'll either make an effort to go to one of the big haunts or like a theme park haunt, or I'll hit up Fraser. Fraser's so good at getting into underground, sketchy, weird parties. Like one day he hits me up, "Hey man, you should have been out last night." And I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "I found two of our old friends. We hopped in the car, went to an underground rave called Beetlejuice, partied our ass off. I hallucinated. Now we're home." I'm like, "I talked to you 6 hours ago. What the fuck happened?"
First off, what a sentence. Can I just say that much?
Yeah, he's good at that kind of shit, man. He's really good at it. He's just like sketchy underground Halloween rave. You down? I'm like, okay. And he's like, cool. I'm in your driveway. I'm like, motherfucker, when did you? He's just good at that shit.
First off, how did he get to your driveway without you seeing or hearing that ox of a man?
His car is very quiet. It's very fuel efficient, very fast,
Yeah.
very quiet.
Okay. Yeah. So
On the Civics, baby.
the car can be quiet, but he's not.
He doesn't get out of the car. He's the kind of motherfucker who calls you and says, "Do you like scary movies?" or "I want to play a game." And he said, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm in your house." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "No, I'm in your front yard."
I have a buddy like that. Oh my god! For all
Yeah,
for
flashbacks.
all intents and purposes, because I know he watches our shit. We'll just call him. We'll call him Oliver. Oliver has a tendency to like, hey, dude. So you want to go do this one thing? Yeah. What time frame are you thinking? I just got a shit shower and get my life together and get ready. Oh, I'm actually at your front door right now.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
He's one of those types of dudes you can't lie to get out of a situation. Like, oh, do you want to go do this thing? Sorry, dude, I'm actually currently running errands. I'm looking at you through your blinds right now. You're playing GTA. Get up off your ass.
That I don't know if you ever saw T-Pain's animated musical.
Yeah.
In the opening, you have?
Yeah.
It's like when they're trying to avoid the landlord. I see you seeing me, seeing you ignored me. Get the fuck out of here. That's what it's like living with Fraser and Oliver, apparently.
Dude, especially now, I live on the second story in this house, and like, hey, so I'm throwing a party later. Do you want to go? Sorry, dude, I'm actually not home right now. I see you watching YouTube videos right now. You just did the stretch where your legs started shaking. Are you on a ladder on the side of my home?
He's just pressed up against the glass. Let me in.
I'm trying to decipher if Oliver is my friend or my stalker.
There's just people who are like that, and that's why I like doing the holiday shit with Fraser. There's no plan. There's no fucking. We need to situate. It's just, hey, I'm here. Let's go, and it's great times every time. The one time where I'm like, I took the reins. I took him out to LA with some cousins and a couple friends to go to Universal Horror Nights.
Mhm.
Bro, He's such a dickhead. One of my cousins smokes, and he was way too high. And we get off a ride, and he's scared. He's like shaking, scared. And I'm like, "Hey, it's cool, buddy. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just you okay? Walk it off." Fraser grabs him and goes, "It's not okay." Panicking, and he shoves him and runs. And I'm like, "Damn it, Fraser, you motherfucker!"
I can picture Fraser doing that. Just like you have the situation completely handled. Just like, it's okay, bud. It's not real, and everything's gonna be fine. They're coming to kill you.
Dude, it's fun, man. It's a good time. I will say I would not recommend doing the big what's it called? Theater, not theater, theme park attractions this year because Disney went to by appointment and everybody else is so full, they're in massive over. They're cutting off attendance like 20 minutes of the gate opening.
Jesus.
I was down the street when I was at training last week. I looked at it and it says, "Yeah, if you get in the next 18 minutes, you can come in." And I'm like, "It's 6 o'clock. You just opened." What? So yeah, I like doing shit like that, but maybe not this year. Maybe not.
Understandable, especially since like we're old men and we can't like we're also still very impulsive. Like that one good scare will take me out of fight retirement and I will beat your fucking brakes out. I'm not violent, I swear. I'm a lovely girl. So then we're gonna go back down here. So what events have you been to or done in the past? Before we push and brush forward. Have you been to like a Six Flags? Have you been to like a scary carnival fair?
Actually, no.
God damn it.
He is going
Yeah.
on a sketchy fox hunt this year.
Otter
Sorry.
pile.
Ha! I didn't do that. That was not me this time. You should have never taught us that word.
Yeah, I regret it ever since.
Vocabulary. I love it. Thank you for expanding it.
Fighting furries with their own cringe. Voltron.
Their own cringe, one foxo at a time. Let's go. But yeah, so like if you could, what would you want to do? Would you if you could like right now get on a plane and go to like whatever populated place that would have a lot of shit to do? Would you want to go do like an actual legitimate like horror corn maze? Would you want to go to a fright fest? Would you want to go to Six Flags? Would you want to do one of the things that I'm starting to like more and more is escape rooms?
Well, I would love to do an escape room, but I also would love to go to one of those like horror carnivals. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? That's something I would like to do with like a group of friends.
The one that was in my town was active for the 5 days I was in LA. I was so pissed.
Oh,
Oh, they knew you
wow.
were gone. They did not want you there. They were like, okay, he's gone for a week. It's open for a week right now.
Dude, it was walking distance from the house. It was $5 admittance. I was furious.
Only $5?
Fine.
Yeah,
What capital are they
because
making?
this one's a little weird. It does the general show's $5, but on 2 nights they do a 18 and up show, and it's a full like burlesque gala with drinking and like all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, that sounds like the fucking Renaissance fair here.
You guys have what kind of rent fairs you going to? Hold on now.
Oh, so after the Red Fair, actually, hold up one second. Audience, this is for you. Listen now. ASMR time. Oh, yeah, nice, huh? Yeah.
No,
But,
you didn't hear shit. Anyway, move on.
damn it. But, so the Renaissance Fair has an 18 and up time frame where at like I want to say it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock. All the minors,
Really?
even if you're with your parents, you gotta fuck off. And trust, believe, there's been many times I've seen families where dad's making a life decision of I'm about to see copious amounts of titties or go home with my family. Huh.
Just fucking midlife crisis.
Hey.
And this most recent Ren Fair, so all the dads this year, apparently it was the year of the kilt. All the dads told the wives and kids, go to bed, eat your vegetables. I'm staying here. They broke out the mead. We go underneath this this big ass tarp where there's tables, and then there's just beer wenches with just dinner plate of tit right there hanging out. And that's how we got we would normally get down to rein in the spooky season. Because Renaissance Fair and titties are spooky. Very spooky, right? Yes. Spooky.
Can they come
Yeah,
next time?
terrifying.
Yeah. Come on now.
Oh, fuck.
Do you like mead?
Yes, I do actually. Lemon
Yes.
honey is my favorite, but if somebody makes a good oak barrel, I'm down. Yeah, I'm a nerd when it
Dude,
comes
hell
to
yeah.
alcohol. You know, our other wolf friend, you know, the one that's not a furry, invited us to.
Well, wolf friend that's not a furry.
Remember his slogan? I may be a wolf, but I'm not a fucking furry.
Yeah.
He's just in
He was-
denial, bro.
I think he's in denial too, but that's
This
neither
man
here
was
nor
for years. We knew before he did.
I'm sure that's been the case of a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
Damn. I'm sorry.
Man,
I love you.
Oh my
I was-
catching strays this podcast.
I don't know. I'll stop.
Dude,
that was me.
To simmer. Quit cooking the man.
That was 100% me.
do?
Rain and fire back, please. Get me back later.
You
Um,
ugly. Your shoes
I'll think of
untied.
something.
You ain't worth shit. You ain't gonna be shit. The line's over there.
Anyways, yeah, that fool was just inviting me to a what sounds like a sketchy Ren fair. You have to drive all the way across the state. It's at like the 30 minutes away from the border, so it's in the middle of nowhere. And it's just anarchy. There's no rule or law for 4 days.
I was in the fucking party when he was not talking to you about that.
Yeah.
It sounded
Like
sketchy as shit.
in my head, I'm like, I'm either gonna die or have a great time. I might be getting Ren fairs. Is this what happens when you turn 30?
Like Renfrew,
Oh,
just dude.
dude.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just want to go to Ren Fair for the damn mead. Dude, I love mead. I haven't had mead in forever.
Dude, I love going there for the mead, but I also like going there because you'll actually get like family owned businesses of just all some of the most artistic crafts of all time. Like every time I go to the fair, I always get another piece of armor, whether it be chainmail, gauntlets, greaves, sabatons, a helmet. I always come back with something.
I can actually use a new knife. I just jacked my general utility one at work the other day. Yeah, I went to cut open a box and I went too deep and I just nailed this cast iron pipe and the pipe's fine. My knife, however, has a good lightning pattern at the end of it. Looks like a Harry Potter prop.
You're a wizard
Nice.
knifey.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm pretty pissed.
Like I can't stab anything anymore, but I can win Guardian Leviosa now. This thing became imbued with magic.
I can make you a main character in a mid fantasy series.
Hey, I'm rewatching that mid fantasy series.
Is it because
So-
you've been playing Hogwarts Legacy?
And the I'm still under non-disclosure. Never mind. But yes, Hogwarts
Yeah,
Legacy.
you probably shouldn't have mentioned that one.
Yeah, Hogwarts Legacy really made me want to rewatch the Harry Potter movies, which actually made me think before we go down that route, because we're still on the whole spooky thing. I want more information about this because I think it was you that brought it up. Speaking of Ren fairs, whatever happened to that Ren fair where you actually had to like sign up for an audition? Like you actually had to have a guild of like insert amount of people here.
Oh my god. No. Zay brought that up. Death's Brigade. And our boy Simon is okay. Let me slow down. Death's Brigade and our boy Simon, who I don't know if he wants us to be like, oh yeah, his tag. I know he's working on a few things, so we'll leave him non-disclosed until he's ready. He is super hard into that scene, and I mean super hard into that scene. They have the way this. It's not a Ren fair. It is a LARP essentially,
That's it.
but it's on a massive scale. They have a small town. They make wooden buildings and structures that can endure weather, that are temporary, that go down after the event. They make a small city. There's 5 major factions. You can be in smaller factions to try to work your way into the bigger factions. Your factions have to have lore. They have to be approved. They have to follow certain code of conducts, depending on which faction you want to work with. And they have to have matching attire, armor, and memorabilia. So they have a lore a lore-filled faction. They have a uniform, and they are going out to do full like reenactment-esque levels of role playing in an aggressive cloak and dagger / full combat PvP LARP. And it's just, I'm like, can I come? And they're like, yeah, what's your measurements? We'll start your armor like next week. And I'm like, oh my god, I love my friends.
But you mentioned
Oh,
that's brigade. Shout out to Save Progress.
Woo, love the boys.
Homies, we still need to have a tattoo talk.
Good luck getting a hold of them. They've been a nightmare lately.
That's why I aggressively cleared my throat to express my disappointment.
When I had the Rona, I was in bed for like 7 days straight. So Benny would call me at random times during the day. Hey, fool, what you doing? I want to talk to you. And I'm like, I'm in bed. What's going on? Oh man, did you see? And he just rambled for an hour. And I'm like, my guy, what are you doing this weekend? He's like, busy this weekend. I gotta do something with the missus. I'm like, and we need to hang out more. We need to do things. We need to work as a unit.
The boys.
Man, and not just that. I would love to just do more shit with them, just like, content creator wise.
Mm-hmm.
They're always a blast to hang out with, and you talking about Benny reminded me how the motherfucker talks. And I'm like, hey fool. I'm like, yeah,
he's different.
So remember that one clip that we edited for the podcast? Just like he stopped a fight with 3 words: "Mom's a hoe."
Dude,
boom.
That guy will just say outlandish shit. Like, get off the fridge, and he means it. There's nothing there. He was yelling at his brother because his brother was standing on the fridge.
okay.
Just whatever comes out of his mouth sounds so ridiculous.
That one caught me. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, my favorite is, hey babe, what's up? No, I'm hanging out with the boys. No, we're playing D&D. No, it's babe. No, it's not like that. No, it's kind of gay. It's 5 guys standing at a table staring at each other. Yeah, we're all guys. And then she walks in. Whoa, yikes. And he's like, are you happy? Because this is what it is. And he throws the dice. I win this round of combat. Leave. The dude is just out there.
I just love the no. Well, I mean, yeah, it's kind of gay.
He had to admit, just a hair.
The 5 guys around the table looking at each other, rolling dice.
Bro, dude. Yeah, it's kind of I guess on paper it's a hard sell of like, okay, how is this game? 5 dudes around a table role playing.
Well, instead of playing at somebody's house, they were in one of the guy's apartment for some reason. So they're just on top of each other around this tiny ass little table in a very dim lit room full of smoke and fog. It was if you opened the door, you would see what looked like a steamy room with 5 grown ass, very large men cramped around a table.
Hey babe, roll for initiative.
Roll for initiative.
Hey, babe,
Since you're here, we need a healer.
Blow on these dice real quick. Trust me, it's not weird.
Quick,
blow on these dice.
Quick, we need a wench to distract the bard.
The fuck did you just call me? Never mind.
Never mind.
Especially if you have like a Latina girlfriend. Babe, can you smack our rogue? He blew our cover.
He has to. I'm pretty sure he'd get disowned if he didn't. His family's a different breed.
We'll just say deeply rooted.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
I love them all to pieces, but they're fucking crazy.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Excuse me. Now that we've derailed on D&D, throwing dice, how it's kind of gay, and totally losing about spooky stuff, I'm trying to remember what's the last thing we said before we started talking about Benny and him.
Probably we should figure that out after the ad.
That's what I was just about to segue into. You bastard! You took my thunder, and you know what else is going to be taken away? Go look at the ad.
Hey everyone, NoSkill Mike here. Just to throw out the friendly reminder that Dubby is still live and supporting us. They're dropping new flavors, stickers, and even a new waifu cup. So if you want to do your part and kick in just the tiniest a bit, we'd appreciate it ever so much. All you gotta do is use code NSC at dubby.gg whenever you make an order, and you help everybody out, yourself included. Till next time.
Hey guys, it's me, your boy, DJ. I just wanted to take a second to tell you guys about NoSkill Entertainment's now public Discord server. Yes, that is it. It is open now. You can join in the link in the description down below. We pretty much hang out there every single day. So whether you want to drop a meme, maybe drop some music, there's a space that's right for you down at the NoSkill Entertainment Discord. So maybe I'll see you there sometime. Bye now. Hello, and welcome back. We are back from that. Hopefully you enjoyed that pretty little ad read. Once again, thank you very much to Debbie for hanging out with us. You're beautiful and you're kind of hot, and I like you. And thank you for hanging out with us. And then also, join the Discord. Okay, we're kind of cool. Why not? We're in there every single day, essentially. And if you catch us in one of the open VCs, hop on in. Let's do some. Let's run some. Let's screen share and watch some funny videos. But now, back to the spookiness that is known as Halloween, the spooktacular event of October, the one that everybody looks forward to, the one that for some reason it's not even Halloween yet, and there's Christmas decorations up in Walmart already.
Please don't start this topic. I will
please
explode.
I already hear Mariah Carey's music off in the distance, and I'm like, stay back, wench.
So,
Stay
my
back,
parents are
demon.
Mariah Carey fans, and this year I'm going to start putting Slipknot discs in all their CD cases.
Yes.
I've already sent my my friend because we plan on throwing a Halloween party, and he was just like, I might throw some Mariah Carey music in there just to be funny. And I went, you do that, not only A, will we no longer be friends, but I will no longer respect you, and I might give you a wedgie. Why would you do that to us? Just stick with Monster Mash.
No. You play Haunted House of Rock by Houdini.
And then you followed up with Black Betty. I just really like the song Black Betty by Spiderbait, the cover.
Yeah, it's a good song. I feel like that's what you play at the end of the night when the party shut down by the cops and everyone's scattered.
That's the song you play when everybody's trying to speed off when the cops roll up. That's the scatter song.
Yeah.
But so
it is.
We're going back to spooky season. One of the things that I definitely want to talk about. This one might be a little weird to adjust to, but like things that are haunted, urban myths, urban legends, things that you've heard or seen, maybe even like experienced yourself. I don't know if your guys' house is haunted like mine is. Is your house haunted?
No, but I've been in haunted houses before.
Okay. Is your house haunted?
No, but I've been in haunted houses.
Yeah, my house is haunted by two things. One's a cat that randomly walks around, and the dogs will bark at literally nothing. And then there's
this house is haunted as fuck.
Mando's house?
Oh yeah.
What, the one he's in right now?
Yeah. Did we not tell you about his third floor neighbors?
No.
Oh, I'll tell you off. I'll tell you off the podcast because there's a funny story behind that. It's aggressive.
I can't wait.
Because my house is haunted by some cat, and then also this other spirit whom I named Walter. He's not like trying to like haunt you, hurt you, kill you like like Patrick Swayze's character in the movie Ghost, classic movie. But he likes to just do random things that annoy you. Like he'll randomly change the thermostat, he'll turn on a faucet or flush a toilet randomly. And my roommate at this point has blamed me every single time, and I'm like, the most recent time she just heard a toilet flush and it kept running, and she texted me saying, "Can you fix the toilet?" And I went, "I'm not home." Well, then who flushed the toilet? Hi, Walter.
Yes. Hi, Walter.
Without being direct, we both agree that kind of person that your roommate is that person in the horror movies, just in denial until the end of the movie.
Yeah. She's the type of character to where she'll be like, this isn't real, and she'll go headlong into the spooky murder mansion, and then with each step she realizes how real the situation is getting. But ego and pride says she can't back down.
I'll look weak. I gotta look strong in front of the ghost. You just said the ghost is real. Can't let them know that.
And then she got mad. Dude, she got mad. Again, this is just my house. You can call me crazy in the comment section all you want. That's fine. But she started. I came home. She started yelling, and she was yelling at Walter. She was just like, "You're not paying my utility bill. Stop!"
Okay, I feel that though. Have some goddamn respect. This is my house and my bills, motherfucker. I will bust out the sage just to prove a goddamn point.
Oh my god. And so that's why I just looked at her and I went, "Told you. He doesn't mean you harm. All he's just gonna do is flush the toilet randomly. So just deal with it. It's fine." But that's one of the things I would like to know. Leave me a comment down below if your house is haunted, or if you feel like you have something that around you that you can sense but nobody else can. I love hearing ghost stories, dude. Like whether they're real
Please
or not.
do.
Like whether they're real or not, I just love hearing a good spooky spook story.
Turn our comment section into a /X thread, please.
Make our comment section look like an episode of Goosebumps.
Oh, gee, Goosebumps was the shit.
I forget. Someone told me that it's on Netflix. Is it true?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
I need to go watch it.
And it's also,
The podcast is over. Peace.
Right. Bye.
And I think the show's actually, and I think the movie's also on Hulu because I remember seeing it. I think I queued it for my.
The relaunch is coming out in a couple of days.
But yeah, so spooky stuff, spooky, scary skeletons. Since you were done my spine, we'll start with over you. Do you have any spooky, scary, urban legend, ghost story, urban myth, something that you've seen or personally witnessed? Because as I've said before, I live. People that know where I live in the birthing of the Annabelle doll, and one of the most haunted asylums, I believe, in the U.S.
Probably. Your state is just scary for a lot of reasons. But yeah, no, we have. There's like 2 places in our area that are like crazy haunts. The more popular one, I'm not going to go into subject matter, is horribly dark and morbid, and I don't want to dig into that too much. But the other one, we actually have a local between our town and the next one heading into the hills. And it's really funny because it's the only like plantation style home in our area for a very far distance. It looks terrifying. And all the local teens have always been like, "Yeah, let's go take the county roads. We'll stay the night in the witch house." No one lasts more than like an hour and a half. Everyone fucking bails immediately. It's the only structure for fucking 25 miles in both directions.
Yeah,
that is not an exaggeration. It is in the middle of nowhere, but it's right off the main road that they built to get between these 2 cities. And the story goes is that the family who owned it was really wealthy and they were into witchcraft and they used all kinds of stuff to get ahead in life. And they're surviving descendants, because they are still around, all try to get rid of that land, and nobody can get rid of that property. It's in beautiful location. It comes with acreage. It's still on the market, and there's just this horrifying abandoned big white house out in the middle of nowhere that every couple of months some new batch of teenagers goes in. They all shit their pants and leave very quickly. We've got that one. What was the other fun one? I was staying at a friend's house, and his family member had recently passed, like within days of us staying there. And the idea was, the house is pretty isolated. The family has some sketchy members, and they didn't want anybody who knew that member had passed to break in and steal all the property, because there is a lot of wealth, and there is, come to find out, guns just hidden all over the house. The family member passed of natural causes, so don't jump to any wild conclusions. But when we were staying there, the day started super normal. As soon as the sun went down, it got creepy as shit. Genuinely hearing footsteps, and we would see doors open and close through the house like somebody was walking. Nobody there, just us. Lights would flick on in the entire room, like an entire bedroom. Every light in it would just go on. we would have all the light, all the cabinets in the kitchen would just swing open at random. It was really funny too because same friend as you. Oh, everything's on a timer. I'm like, my guy, this is a fucking cottage home from 1950. There's no timers in this fucking house. This house has never seen anything more advanced than in your pocket, and it beats everything else by a long shot. What was the other? There was another really creepy one. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, I don't want to make too many presumptions, but there was a creepier moment where we saw what looked like, you'd assume coyotes because they live in the fields. 2 yellow eyes looking in through the curtains. Homeboy goes up to the glass, kicks the door open, racks a 12-gauge slug, starts aiming out into the dark with a flashlight. Nothing, not even footprints.
Yeah, that just reminds me of the movie Signs with Mel Gibson.
It felt like it. We were in a country home on a farm in the middle of nowhere. The nearest neighbor is 5 miles over a hill. The family is 10 miles back. And the idea was if we needed them, we would call them. We were armed. We were probably too young to be doing this, still teenagers. But we were there and they're like, yeah, we trust you guys. You're the responsible ones in the family. Not true. And it was a really weird experience. It was terrifying at the time. I didn't feel like I was going to die, but it was really surreal to see the superstition and what you really would leave up to horror movie bullshit start actually happening to you. These things that I'm very passively just saying all happened, and in real time it was fucking horrifying. And it was funny because my family has always believed in this kind of stuff. They come from very rural, very old school backgrounds. So my mom texted me and she said something along the lines of like, yeah, how'd you night? You guys having fun? And I'm like, well, we're kind of Scooby doing it. I'm not gonna lie, the house is really crazy right now, and it doesn't feel bad, but this is what's happening. I don't know if it was the most comforting thing she could have said. She said, well, when some people pass, you have to deal with stuff like that. Be respectful of the house and of them. Don't do anything to antagonize anybody, and you'll be fine. It's just like dealing with a regular person. Now, have a good night, and I'll call you in the morning. And I, as a teenager who's not in the best state of mind, seeing that, and I'm just, what the fuck, woman? Just lie to me and say I'm imagining it at this point. Like, damn. I did not need that right now.
Just tell me it's all in my head.
Dude, it is really unnerving thing. And like, I'm brushing through a lot of it. I'm sure I could set it up to be a lot scarier, but it really all did happen. We did watch these fucking doors that were completely old school wooden heavy frame doors open, like somebody stepped through it and go to a closed position without swinging through. We did see cabinets all fucking swing open in one room. We did see somebody, like a pathway of lights going on and off, lights flicking on and off when nobody's near it. 2 people in the house, both sitting in the same room, and all the bedroom in the back flicks on. Not a good motherfucking feeling. So
I would have been gone.
You know, we could have called and said, hey, we're not having this, take it up. But there's something about stupid teenage male pride where you're like, I don't want to look like a bitch. So,
Like, Brandon, if they
us being,
left, that would have been the end of the movie. And we can't have credits after 30 minutes because something weird happened.
Look at that.
One of them has to die.
well, what we ended up actually doing is we found the family member's reserve bottle of Crown Royal apple hiding in one of the cabinets. We poured a toast, we did 2 or 3 shots, and we just went to bed, dude. A nice buzz, and well, probably more than a nice buzz. We were pretty young. An aggressive buzz and crash hard on the couch. We were not going in the bedroom because the living room was the only room where shit happened. Every other room in the house, you would be in like horror movie shit. Going to take a piss was the most horrifying shit ever because you would be sitting there trying to like get in the headspace, and you would hear footprints and shit like pacing outside of the door. And it's not a comforting feeling when it's like midnight.
He's just waiting his turn.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
now it's even if it was a regular person, could you not? I'm trying to do a thing right here, my guy.
like, can I
That's
get a
what,
little privacy? Can you get away from the door so I can just do my thing and go?
Yeah, you're antagonizing me now. Please stop.
so that's when you just double down. You hit him like, especially you hear the footsteps again. You just look back at the door and be like, "You want a drink directly from the fountain?
What
Go
is
away."
what about not antagonizing? Do you?
Well, it's
It's
not
like
antagonizing. It's you're
And I feel
offering
like
him.
out of everyone here, you would have the worst reaction to that.
I will break out the sage.
Because this is
We're
why,
in a white person's home. They don't know what sage is.
like real quick, I'll say this much, and then you can continue with, continue with your story. But I have done like a Ouija board one fucking time, and some of the freaky shit that I saw, I was like, yeah, never again, at
Yeah,
all.
dude.
Yeah, no, we
So
don't fuck with that.
I've been through this experience. I've been through other stuff that I don't really want to get into because it was tied to like tragedy in my family.
Mhm.
And well, no joke, we were really upset, and we mentioned another previous family member that had, and immediately some shit goes flying across the. And I'm like, okay, we're calming down. We're good now. Sorry, but uh there's a joke Adrian does with some of our friends, be like, "Oh yeah, are you afraid of a ghost?" And they'd be like, "Nah, blah blah blah. I don't give a fuck." And then he immediately follows up, "Would you let me use a Ouija board in your house?" 10 out of 10, every single one of them. Fuck no, man. Fuck you. Get that bullshit away from me. Consistent marks across the board, and you were playing with one.
Like, because again, I'm not gonna lie. When I went to using this whole Ouija board thing, that was what set me into the whole. Okay, there's some shit out there that I can't explain, and as long as it's not mad at me, it doesn't want to hurt me. Because I was just like, you know what, this shit ain't real. Break open that Ouija board. What spells do I need to say? Hocus pocus, flippity flam, or razzmatazz and alakazam. All right, let's go. And next thing you know, one of the guys that I was with, he was a he. I hate to, he was like your size, but he was wide.
Okay.
Okay, like he was a big boy. And randomly, when we're just sitting there, like, okay, so what's happening here? We're asking the questions. This dial is like moving on its own. And then said big boy, he just all of a sudden his eyes roll to the back of his head and he just straight up fucking collapses.
Oh fuck no.
No,
I'm
fuck
out.
no.
Every man for themselves.
And at that moment in time, I was just like, end this the way you're supposed to. I checked his pulse. He was still alive. He wakes up like 5 minutes later and he, not gonna lie, this is why I love, for this sake, we'll just call him Teddy. This is why I love Teddy so much. I'm like, Teddy, you good, Teddy? Can we get KFC?
Motherfucker's blood sugar dropped.
To nil. He's just like,
He's
can we get chicken?
diabetic.
So that's why I am always just like, you know what? Even if I can't explain it, I'm not going to deny it. And now that I have one where I'm like, you're just gonna randomly flush the toilet, dude? Really? Did you at
I'll
least
take
shit?
stuff like that. Well, like, okay, so I don't know. Maybe it's the worry wort in me. Having seen that these things can happen and having seen that there is a level of physical interaction with your day to day life. If it's minor stuff, I can deal with that now, especially since I'm older. I will follow mom's directions this time. Show respect, don't antagonize, respect it as if it's a person standing in front of you. I can live with that. But there's the part of me that's always like, man, if I see some fuck shit, I'm out. If I see that whole the whole scratches appearing on your skin or people start freaking out and spasming, I'm the first person gone.
So basically,
Every
Yeah,
man, woman, and
that'd be me
child for
too.
themselves.
so basically, the
Yeah, that'd be
entire
me
movie
too.
of Gothica.
Yeah. I was thinking more of what's it called? Sinister? But yeah.
Ooh, good movie though. Very good movie.
Throwback on Gothica. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Shout out to Halle Berry. You're still hot. But
Oh, dude.
yes. All right, we're gonna move down the bench though, because I know you and I can continue with freaky. What's the term that Mando uses? Freaky whoop de wop all damn day. So now I want to shift down to Overlord here. spooky instances and happenings in your neck of the woods? Did the corn talk to you? Were the children of the rose in the
Let
rose?
me let me preface this with Nebraska is boring as fuck, and
We've noted.
the only crazy thing I've heard is a family of cannibals in Lincoln or something like that. But
That
Hold on,
checks out.
hold on. He's gonna say
100%
Nebraska's
checks out.
boring.
But we
Cannibals.
have cannibals.
I think it's either Lincoln or Omaha, one of the two major cities. I don't remember
Oh,
which one, but
Omaha Steakhouse.
they had cannibals. But that's not the
Oh
craziest
my
thing.
god.
What I'm going to be talking about is my experience when I lived in New Mexico.
It's always in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was talking to our wolf guy, the one we were mentioning earlier.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, there was this crazy shootout and there's a haunted bowling alley. And I'm listening to my true crime podcast like months later, recently out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. And I'm like, there's no
Yeah.
fucking way it's the same story.
Las Cruces, man. But
Bro, every time.
So I lived in Chimayo, but
Okay.
this kind of takes place to a town called Espanola, where it was like a 15,
Mhm.
20-minute drive from Chimayo to Espanola. And there's this big gap between Espanola and this famous town in New Mexico called Taos.
Mhm.
In between Taos and Espanola, you have to basically drive through the mountains. And there's at one point you're in like a small canyon, and you have to drive through the canyon and go up to where you're above everything, and you reach Taos on this like plateau area. So there's this famous story that happened before I moved there. It was like years before I moved there. This school bus full of middle school kids were going to Taos for like a field trip or something, and there was a rock slide, and then everyone in the bus got crushed by boulders. They all died, and it was a horrible thing that happened. And even to the day that I moved and saw those, because I used to go from Esmeralda to Taos all the time because I had a cousin that lived there. I had a friend that had his grandparents lived up there, so I was always going in between Espanola and Taos all the time. So I drove through that same exact road many times,
Mhm.
and you'd still see memorials and all that to the entire time I lived there, and I lived there for like maybe 7, 8 years. So, all the times that I went through that road, there was one time, me and my cousin and my aunt were like, we're gonna go back to Chimayo. It was like really late. We're talking like maybe 8, 9. It was dark, driving through a canyon, and in her Jeep, her back, I guess, tarp. It's like one of those Jeeps where the roof is like some sort of tarp thing. You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
yeah.
Yeah.
Plastic windows and shit.
Yeah, a freedom top for
Rag
all
top.
the Jeep guys.
Or a
Yeah.
rag top.
So that back part was gone. So it was cold, and me and my cousin were in the back with hoodies and blankets because there was no tarp, and we were
Shit,
just
bro.
in
Been
the
there.
back,
Back here. Yeah.
Been
Right.
there.
cold wind, and but me and him, not my aunt, she didn't hear it, but me and him both just started hearing clear as day, and we were on like the road going 60 an hour. There was wind blowing in our ears in the middle of the night, and all we hear is screaming
Oh,
of
Jesus Christ.
like many people all at once, clear as day. But yet she didn't hear it, but me and him did,
Mm.
and that scared the absolute shit out of me. And
I
if
got
it was
fucking chills.
if it was during the day, that exact moment we heard it, it was in pretty much the exact area where the
Yep.
accident happened. And shit, you can still see the boulder that did it pushed to the other side of the road down in the creek. It's still there, and it's just I never had any experiences with anything like that up until that point, and I was terrified. I didn't sleep that night. Just hearing screams of many people of many ages, sex, whatever, just all at once. It sounded like a huge echo in the canyon, but me and him were the only people that hear it. I was terrified. I didn't
Oof.
go. I didn't go down that road for a long time after that. I was
I
like,
don't
I'm
blame
just
you. I
staying
have
home.
fucking goosebumps hearing the story.
Like, I'm just gonna stay home. I didn't go up to the house for months.
Fair.
And that's why I'll never
Fucking
downplay
fair.
when somebody like wants to share their experiences of like a personal haunt or you seeing, hearing, feeling something. Because like I'm not gonna do the whole like, oh yeah, go that show Ghost Hunters, all that fun shit. Where I'll admit this, a lot of it is personally, a lot of it is just fucking acting.
Yeah.
Like they act
Yeah.
more
Play it up for the ratings.
than soccer players do. But I also understand that there's like it affects some like a lot of people differently. The people that I can't stand are the ones that are just like, oh no, that could be easily explained as long as I have more like more background or more knowledge or more context. The person that went through it didn't have knowledge or context. Brandon all of a sudden just heard screaming.
Mhm.
Explain it to me. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And clear as fucking day in a backseat of a windy, cold car at
Well,
night.
clearly it was just the windows being down, reacting to the wind passing through. Okay, well,
I
why?
thought you were gonna say to the walls. I don't
Yeah.
know why.
Till the sweat drops down my balls. Sorry. Uh, uh, uh. But how is it that the people in the back seat heard it, but the adults didn't, but the children did? All that fun shit. And I could go to war with people about this left and right. Of like, it's easily explained. Then explain it. I can't. Eh? And why not? Well, I wasn't there. I don't have context. So how's it easily explained? We're about to get real conspiracy. Y'all let me keep talking. Go again.
Go again. This was a
'Cause
little on the funnier side. Let me turn my music down a little bit. I do listen to ambient stuff during conversations so I don't stare, and it got really loud. So, all right, that's fixed. Uh This one's a little on the weirder side. It wasn't so much spooky as it was like where I'll acknowledge to a degree that there is a spiritual aspect of life and that some people are more in tune with others.
Mhm.
And it was funny because I'm still good friends with this person. She's a little out there, but she's a good friend. And at one point she got way into tarot, like her life, her identity. And she always happy. Oh, hey, let's do a reading. Let's do that. Personally, even if it did have like more consistent, like, oh yeah, this is what it means implications, I wouldn't buy into it. I don't like the idea of trying to guess what your life's going to be instead of being able to make that decision and act accordingly in the moment.
Mhm.
And I told her that we had a lot of deep talks about it, and she was moving away. And one day before she did, she's like, "Hey, Mike, you know something? I want to give you a reading." All right, I don't want it. If you feel the need to do something like that, do it yourself. I don't want to know. Fine, whatever. I'm like internally, I'm like, bitch. But so she does it, and she just gets pale, and she's like, "Hey, you need to see this." And I'm like, "No, it's probably not good." Well, how do you know? I'm like, because life's hard, and if any news that's going to make you recoil, life's going to be hard. I could figure that out for myself. And she's like, "You should probably see it." I'm like, "No, no, no, no."
Can I cut in?
So
Can I cut in real quick
hmm?
before you continue? Because you
Yeah.
said something that hit the nail on the head directly, at least for me. Of like, if you even whether it's true or not, if you had the knowledge of knowing like what bad is coming, you're gonna spend the rest of your life doing everything you can trying to avoid that outcome.
Mhm.
Even though it's based on well, not based, it's a fictitious show, but the Disney show That's So Raven. She would
Mhm.
have a vision of something bad happening, and she would spend the entire episode trying to prevent it from happening. And you're no longer living in the moment when you're trying to prevent something from happening. you're trying to live in the future at that exact time.
Yep.
Sorry, that's
And
that's just my 2 cents.
well, you're kind of right to that degree. Let's just say you avert this one bad thing. Are you going to do that for every single thing for the rest of your life? Are you living at that point?
No,
Or
that's
are you just spending your entire life in a loop of prevent thing, try to be happy while you prevent next thing?
that's called living in preventative fear.
Exactly. So she moves, and immediately after, life gets wild,
Mm.
dude. We go through a lot of disasters. We did have to say goodbye to several family members in a very short amount of time. Like the gap was legit spooky enough for me to be like, there was probably something to what she was saying because almost immediately shit just went south. And we ran into each other. Oh fuck, like a year or two after that. And she's just like, "Hey, how you doing? Are you good?" And she was very serious when she said it. I'm like, "Yeah, crazy times, but we make it through and we take care of each other." And she gave me a big fucking hug, and like we just went on like nothing happened. And I know you could always say there's a bit up to chance, or there's a lot of that up to chance. But having known that person for a long time and how they react, like how serious they take things, they're not a very serious individual, and they know I don't like playing and like goofing around at that kind of degree. That's not stuff you've messed with, talking about like personal disaster and things. And I don't know, it felt weird. It felt like there was definitely more meets the eye there. And we're still cool. We still keep up. And I think she learned better than to try to look into my future because it's generally not a pleasant place. You just deal with life and move on.
You just roll with the punches and then keep it moving.
Pretty much. If you expect to always find sunshine and rainbows, you should not be looking at the future because that's not what it's always like.
Mm-mm.
That
And
was
I,
that was my part too. You got something?
yeah, we got really deep there, so bear with us. Like, I just especially based off of what like the stories that we just shared real quick because we got more rounds of it, but like just be open minded to what anybody's going through. Okay, like it doesn't matter if it was a premonition and you're trying to warn somebody. Respect that person's decision to go through life and figure it out on their own, not go through life and like try to prevent the bad thing from happening because now you're gonna be scared of everything. I know people that are so
Mhm.
afraid to leave their houses because they're afraid something bad's going to happen. That's called agoraphobia.
Yep. Yes, it is. I know one of those too. Not fun to deal with.
No, it's not. Like everybody likes to say, I'm agoraphobic. No, I just don't like leaving my house because fuck people. But that's just me.
No, you're smart. You avoid problems.
Uh-huh. You want to go to the casino and gamble $10,000, or I can stay home and not do that, and I can have
Or
$10,000.
hear me out. Hot Pockets and Netflix. I know it sounds radical. But hear me out.
Like, dude, you want to come over? I got an extra meatball and marinara. Let's go. Let's do something. Sorry, that's my favorite Hot Pocket.
I'm old school. I like the pizza ones, man. They're so good.
Oh, dude, the pizza always
I
going to be a
love
good
pizza
classic.
ones.
We're going to get onto food. Oh, no.
Yeah,
We went from so heavy to Hot Pockets.
You should respect people. I'm hungry.
That's no skill for you. That's how we do.
For real, another ghost one. This one, I understand as to why nobody believes it because it sounds crazy. Hell, I even feel like I sound crazy saying it. But like I don't want to say on a lighter note. Again, it's tragedy. But I still remember when my grandmother passed away. I was a very young lad, but I was very close to my grandmother. Like like she was mom when mom wasn't there. And she passed away when I was like, I'd say 6 or 7. But I always remember her. I still have a picture of her on my mantle. And I always felt like for a while, I always felt like even though I'm walking by myself, that somebody was like either had a hand on my shoulder or was rubbing my head, or if I was like crossing the street, somebody was like holding my hand the entire time and I could not explain it. And I was too afraid to tell mom, this is what's going on. So speeding up the story, one night I'm asleep in bed. I'm having this dream. My mom, she had to work really late. It was just me and my babysitter, and my babysitter is one of those irresponsible ones, meaning she just kind of, effed off. They go do whatever, right?
Yeah.
And next thing I know, I feel like I'm having this dream where I'm like sitting with my grandmother, and she's telling me we should go we should go play board games in your closet. But grandma, I'm
Okay.
sleeping. And she goes, "Yeah, but get up, stop sleeping. We should go play board games in the closet." Why? I'll explain later. Let's go play board games in the closet. So reluctantly, I get up, walk to my closet, I grab my blankie, I go to the closet, and I close it, and I lay down, and I go back to sleep. I woke up the next day, and my mom is like, picks me up. She's carrying me. She's crying, and there's police in the house. Found out while my mom was at work, our house got broken into.
Oh shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, our house got broken into while I was asleep in the closet. And I
Mhm.
credit my grandmother for the whole, in my mind, again, you guys call me crazy if you want to, I don't care. I'm like, I think grandma just saved my life.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
She visited me in a dream and told me to go sleep in the closet so I wasn't in the house, or at least not in the bed.
And I get that because like that story I kind of mentioned earlier where we were talking to a family member who's no longer with us.
Mhm.
And we're like, the context was if this person was here, they would fix this. And when something was thrown across, it felt like the knock it off of like an elder telling you to get your shit together. I get that, dude. There's definitely been like the one or two times where you're like, it feels like you got somebody looking out for me from beyond where we are. The dude, oh fucking shit.
It was,
This got turned into a spooky episode very
oh yeah,
quickly.
that first half was all fun and jokes, and then it kind of just descended into real. So if you're still here and you're hanging out with us, thank you for hanging out with us. We, even though we pride ourselves in being jokesters, we do have real personal stories and life experiences, and we're okay with sharing them with you guys. And that's why I asked
Oh yeah.
if you're comfortable with it in the comment section. Tell us some of your personal stories. Anything spooky happened to you? Did a premonition come to you and tell you to go lay in a closet to save your life? Like, let me know. I want to know. I'll read it. But now moving down
Did
the
she tell
line,
you when you're supposed to come out of the closet?
huh?
At least it wasn't at me this time.
That's why when he said come out of the closet, I'm just like, what? I guess it never officially came out of the closet. It just became apparently known.
That's the way to do it. You're like, motherfucker, I'm him.
I have something to tell you guys. If we already know, save it.
Yeah, that's basically how mine went.
You're
We
wearing
know.
neon green suspenders. We know.
You
That was, that was a direct shot at one of my friends. I hope he's watching.
But also, you said that the whole the cannibalism thing is the only thing you really experienced. I guess my question to you would be like hearing the stories that you just heard him and I told. Really think back and think hard. Do you think there might have been any sort of premonition or like ghostly experience that you might have had experience but you didn't know it or know what it was?
No, I do know something. I tend to repress it, but I do have a memory.
You want to talk about it? Feel
Um,
free to share.
well, it's
If you
it's
don't,
all,
you don't.
it's also foggy because I was like 3, maybe 4 years old.
Oh yeah.
Um, I had this family member, and she's gone now, but she was basically like another mother. Like, I always was with her. Her name was Dean Nelly or Aunt Nelly. So one day, I had a dream of like it was like a nightmare. It was like her like falling or like disappearing into a void, like telling me to go away or to like stay away type of thing. I wake up, and at the time, I didn't even remember the dream. You know how that goes with dreams.
Mhm.
I remember it later, much later, but I wake up all sleepy, groggy, whatever. I walk out, go to her room, and me being like 3, 4 years old, I'm like, "Hey, you can you pour me a bowl of cereal?" She's not responding.
Oh no.
I go to my parents' room. I was like, "Hey, Dan Lally is not getting up," and I don't know any better.
You're
Yeah.
a child.
And my mom and dad go into the room, and immediately my mom gasps. She tells me to go to the other room, and I later find out she was dead, and I'm the
Mhm.
one that found her.
That's heavy.
But that dream, that was something like surreal to me later on.
Mhm.
It's crazy
At the
what. Sorry.
I was gonna say I've heard of stuff like that before, and it's hard to say at the time and like being a part, but you always got to look at the outside because from a different angle, that is really cool that you got family like that cool to where they're like, hey, this isn't a good situation, but I'm gonna try to shield you from it as much as I can
Mhm.
in their own way. I don't know. I just think shit like that is like crazy. It's cool to a degree, but like, yeah, I got you.
It's amazing what our minds can hold on to, whether it happened or not. If it was
Mhm.
just like a crazy dream or an actual like haunting experience, haunting experience. It's amazing what you're like what the human mind is able to like formulate and capable of holding on to based off of an experience. Because again, Brad
Oh,
remembers
dude.
that, and he was 3 or 4. I remember mine. I was like 7.
I was in a pretty nasty car accident at that age, and my mom tells me all the time, "Oh, you couldn't have remembered that." And I'm like, "No, I'm pretty sure I was there, and I didn't get hurt." I'll preface that right now. We were fine.
You
Well,
sure?
my aunt broke her arm, but she's tough as nails, bro. That woman could take a 12 gauge and still continue the fight.
Yeah. What
But
the fuck that mean? Bring that back to Walmart.
I didn't hear no fucking bell. Yeah, everyone tells me they're like, "Yeah, you're too young to remember that. Couldn't possibly." I'm like, "No, I remember catching air. I vividly remember standing on the side of the road and waving down what is now a coworker to pick me up."
I remember I had a hang time.
Oh, dude, 100%. We got completely inverted, like 25 feet up. It was wild. I was cool. I was cut scratches. Wear seatbelts and car seats. They fucking work.
And use your blinker, for the love of God.
No, we just went off.
I don't know, my roommate and I, we almost got, well, I don't want to say we almost got into an accident. She drives a big ass truck, but a nice little Mazda almost got destroyed by not signaling and then realizing, hey, there's a big ass truck that's about double the weight of my car. Who's gonna win? This is Deadliest
Yep.
Warrior Vehicle Edition.
The shortest episode of Deadliest Warrior we've ever seen.
Who's gonna win? Mazda Miata, Cummins, Diesel. I'll give you a hint. Didn't make it. But so we're gonna shift gears, and now since we're getting close to the end of the podcast, we got a few more minutes to hang out with y'all for a little bit. Thank you again for hanging out with us. I'm sorry this got a little too real or a little too weird, but if you managed to make it to this point, thank you. You are awesome. And by the way, happy Halloween, everybody. I hope you have a good one. Please stay safe. But we're gonna go on a lighter note. Scary or horror slasher video games. I want to end on a video game note just to really, lubricate the gears, let out the brake pressure, bring it back to happy.
All right.
So we've all played
All
some
right.
scary games. We've all played some horror video games. Hell, we're in this place called VR Chat, and this place is a horror with some of the places you can end up.
This is one of the rings of hell for sure.
For
at
sure.
least 3 or 4, maybe 5.
But I've played. I know. I've played my fair share of scary games. You played your fair share of scary games, and then you have too. So let's just delve into this. What is like your earliest memory of like what would you say was your first scary game that you played? And by scary, we'll say like scary, horror, and even slasher games because anything that's bloodshed and evil bad guy. Let's go.
First game I ever played that was considered a horror game, I was like 5, 6 years old, and it was Resident Evil 4 on PlayStation 2.
Let's go. RE4 best
Hmm.
RE.
Good place to start.
Fight
Good
me.
place to start.
And it took me forever to work up the courage to even go into the village, because as soon as I saw the guy with the chainsaw, and I'm like, I'm gonna turn it off.
Oh, dude, I could not wait to get into the village because even though the phrase they were saying was ramen nomini, I heard ramen. I thought noodle. I'm gonna go get some noodles.
Yeah, but at the time I wasn't into horror stuff, and B, I was still traumatized from the Silent Hill scene.
Yo, Silent Hill,
So,
baby. OG
so
throwback.
I was not adept to horror at the time, and I just went straight into Resident Evil.
By the way, real quick, just a segue from wow, from Silent Hill. I just want to give a big shout out. We mentioned them at the top of the podcast. I want to give a shout out to the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. You are the second franchise that I know of that you're a movie based off a video game. That doesn't
What?
happen,
What?
huh?
That happens all the time.
That the video game came first.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens all
Oh
the time.
yeah, no, not no, no. I was about to say Mad Max.
Blood Rain.
Okay, you know what? Fair.
Mario,
I'm not counting Mario. Okay, that bullshit. No.
Mortal Kombat.
Sonic.
Didn't the movie come first?
No,
No way.
no way,
No
Moving on.
way. The entire career of UA Bowl. He's a director that just does that.
I almost got crucified right now. You guys almost saw it. I almost died. Oh god.
Doom.
You know what? Fair. Then yeah.
The Rock.
Yeah. Well, The Rock,
yeah.
the guy that's in everything.
Rampage.
Rampage. That's another one.
I forgot about that movie. I'm not gonna lie. Another movie with The
Resident
Rock.
Evil.
Moving on. I took a swig before I get shamed into existence. By the way,
I
again,
can
you want to
keep
roast me?
going.
You want to roast me in the comment section? Please do. I can handle it. I can take
Tron.
it.
Last one.
You know what? Good shout. Good shout. Especially since I didn't know Tron was actually a game. I thought it was just a movie.
Recent Twisted Metal.
That's a show, not a
yeah.
movie.
It's better than the movies that have been coming out lately.
You know what? You ain't wrong.
There's
Little
no
Mermaid movie?
size,
Crap.
Stuart. Everybody burns.
But no, so moving down the bench, what would you say was your earliest memory? Like, what was your first horror game?
Quake on the N64, and yes, it is a FPS shooter, but it has a super industrial metal fucking backing track. It's dark, it's gritty, the creatures are terrifying. The world or level 2 is called Necropolis, and I think that's where a fucking snowball effect started at some point in my life because it's a city of the dead full of zombies and wraiths.
God damn.
Yeah.
God, I feel I'm definitely the odd man out then.
Why?
Ooh.
My my horror games, it's technically two because I was playing them at the same time. I was a very late bloomer into horror games, but on 360 it was
What?
Well, you gotta remember, I come from a very sheltered home where my mom was just like, if you're not playing anything that's less than Viva Pinata, you are.
Oh, dude. You know, fair.
Fair enough.
When E for Everybody was your entire library, I remember those days.
Oh yeah, but so the two that I
It was
started playing,
very short-lived in my days, but yeah.
but the two I started playing, and I started playing them at the same time. Both of them are terrible, but it was the Saw game
Jesus,
Oh my
what a place to
God.
start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Saw game where it's just like, okay, I have to go solve a bunch of these random puzzles, and then every time you open a door, you have to do a QTE, or else you get shot with a shotgun. Yeah,
Dude, it's fucking just like me going from Jack and Dexter at like age like 2, and then when I hit 3, I go straight to the first 3D GTA.
yeah, he went from find the precursor orbs to hookers.
And drug.
There was a medium somewhere in there.
Rule 34, go to Reddit. But and then the other one was this game called Splatterhouse. It was
Splatterhouse's OG. Let's go.
I thought Splatterhouse was sick. Essentially, boyfriend loses girlfriend to some haunted mansion, and then he puts on the mask
The
like Jim
hockey
Carrey,
mask.
and he goes on a fucking murderous rampage, and his only fuel is finding pieces of naked pictures of his girlfriend. I'm like, I'm gonna like this game.
The Splatterhouse is fucking wild, and bro, that shit's been actual since the 80s.
Now that makes me think. I wonder if it's backwards compatible, and because I think I still have my 360 copy of it, or I'll just buy it
Really?
again from the Xbox Marketplace, knowing me, or Steam if Steam has it. I'm gonna go to Steam.
Also, shout out, just a real quick one. It's not that scary, but they are probably the best missions in the games. I'm gonna just say Time Splitters 2 and Future Perfect. Both of them have amazing campaigns, but both of them also have that one like creepy horror mission that drops you in like a haunted asylum or a crazy like zombie infested gothic church or something like that. Not only is the backtrack always creepy for the atmosphere with like some lady singing like an orchestral gothic like tone the whole time, and just the atmosphere being really dark and creepy with zombies just coming out of nowhere or ghosts or fucking mutated creepers or what's it called, a like zombie deer. That was weird. I don't know. Best missions in the games, creepy to an extent, definitely more funny than anything because that game just has a lot of humor. Still, good job mixing humor and comedy. It was nice.
See, that's why I love video games where their intention is to be comical. Like that's why still to this day, at least once a year, I will always. It's not a horror game, but I will always go back and play the Deadpool game. It is so goddamn funny. It is such a good game.
Oh, and it was always just a treat in Future Perfect to see Cortez get kicked in the nuts by a teenage girl at the beginning. That was always fun.
Of course. Okay, so you know what? We got a little bit more time. We got a little bit more time. So we've given some of the OG games that we've played that were horror. In the more modern and recent years, technology has advanced. We've gone from Nintendo 64 to Switch, so not that far. Xbox 360 to Xbox Series, insert letter, so not that far.
Mhm.
PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, so
So not really that far
not
either.
that far. Did I just shut on all three franchises? Oh wow, there goes sponsorship
Oh
deals. That
no,
sucks. But in
crazy.
the more modern years, what are some one, maybe two, or whatever you want to tell me? What horror games do you like in the current landscape? Starting with you, Green.
In the same vein of RE4, there's two titles in sequels. In sequel, The Evil Within is a
Ooh,
masterclass in storytelling, graphic design, and just badass horror
you know
shit.
what? Fair.
I get where everybody's like, yeah, at a certain point it gets more action because you get more powerful. It's still really fucking cool when it gets to that
Yeah,
point. It's very good
good.
horror.
That was one of the first games in a long time where not only was it well done. I would honestly say that was when the first Evil Within came out, it was probably one of the most well-made horror games in a very long time.
It won
Yeah.
Game of the Year as a horror game. Let that sink in, bro. That shit does not happen.
Horror games
No.
never win shit.
Honestly,
I mean, it hasn't been done since what, RE4?
since RE4 and 5. 5 did very.
Yeah.
It had a few shortcomings, but the co-op really carried
Like that, but that's what
I mean-
carried RE5 was the co-op
the
aspect.
co-op.
The
Yeah,
co-op,
exactly.
yeah.
The mercenaries.
Let's be honest. RE5 was not technically horror. RE4 was a little bit more horror than RE5, but
Way more. Because
They were-
RE5
yeah.
turned into an action adventure.
yeah, and then RE4 still had creepy, scary moments in it. Especially when you got to the regenerators. If you all know, you know.
The Iron Maidens. Ah! I'm still trying to buy one of the figures. They're so expensive right now.
Oh, dude.
Oh my god.
Creepy motherfuckers. And they were even more creepier in their remake. Their design change was awesome.
So, real quick, this episode is going to come out after D&D. One of my things I do with my players is I'll have sampled audio effects. I've got the Banshee scream from Mass Effect. I've got the Red Woman from Evil Within. I've got Alma's Wails from Fear. I just added the Iron Maiden rasping to my repertoire, and I'm dropping it what's called a Bone Claw in D&D. They're failed liches, so they'd lose all their magic, and they're just primal, like, hard to kill undeads. I'm dropping that on the players tomorrow night.
Yes.
You're trying to scar some brews, and that's
Dude,
fine.
Because that breathing, you just walk into a room and all of a sudden you just hear it.
Oh,
You
it's
don't
awful.
see it, you just hear it, and I'm like,
No, the worst is when you walk into a room and it's dead silent, and you know it's a trap, and then you hear it behind you. That is fucking terrible.
Dude, in the remake, the motherfuckers run now.
Oh,
They run.
Dude, they run like Titans from Attack on Titan.
Yeah, kind of. They're just like, whoa, wobbly and shit.
Fucking warbly and shit.
If you watched the playthrough of me playing that, I was like, no, shotgun. Your legs are gone the entire time. You are not running at me.
I specifically skipped that part because I have so much respect for that character and creature design, but it still fucks me up to this day.
Oh, same. The fuckers are terrifying.
Someone showed up to Comic-Con as that shit, and I'm 2 beers deep, and I saw him from like 90 feet away. And I took the widest berth around the motherfucker. I was not dealing with that shit.
Oh my god. That's awesome.
All right, moving down the bench for me, when it comes to horror / scary games, same thing like with what you said. This one's not exactly a scary game. Or at least not anymore. It was intended to be a scary game, and then the player base found a way to just absolutely shit all over it, and I find it great. But Friday the 13th by Gun Media. The game was so good when it came out because it was just like you finally get to be a counselor at Camp Crystal Lake where Jason Voorhees died, and he's chasing you. He's his job and goal in life is to kill you, and gamers being gamers, as soon as it got leaked, there's a way to kill Jason. Those gamers took to the internet and they were just like, how to do this, data mining, and like, oh, I'm gonna find a way to kill Jason. And now every time you load into a Friday the 13th lobby, while the lobbies are still open, I think they might be closed by the end of November, but it just turns into speedrun. How fast can we kill Jason? You hear people in voice chat talking shit to the guy who is Jason. One guy's running back to go taunt Jason. He's just like, I got your sweater. I got your mama's sweater. Bitch ass, I got your sweater. Like, did you just call Jason a bitch ass?
Oh, yeah. I'm amazed at this point. You know, people run up going, sack, 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 and just destroying this man because it's violent.
You got people teabagging on Jason's body, and I'm like, you're really downplaying the 13 movies that they made about him. where he was horrible then
Honestly.
too. But
You're
Honestly,
shitting on so much lore right now.
honestly, like to be honest, my opinion at least, when it comes to games like that, I honestly just find Dead by Daylight more scarier than that game.
Oh yeah, you could build tension in Dead by Daylight, especially if you're
Yeah.
a good killer.
'Cause I was about to actually pass it over to you. Is Dead by Daylight your game, or do you want to say something else?
No, it's what was the question again?
Like what horror slash scary game of the modern era do you look up to, or do you like? Do you find entertaining? Because I agree, Dead by Daylight is great, but even then, gamers found a way to snake killers and give killers the business.
Being that
Your brother.
a lot of horror games nowadays are not all that scary and are just really boring now. There's very I tend to stay away from them unless I hear that they are like catching people's interest and intrigue. So that's when I'll start looking at them. But I'd say as of recent, and this is technically an older game, but it's a remake of an older game. I'm gonna throw in the Dead Space remake.
Yo, my
All right.
boy.
Dude, Dead Space like revolutionized the horror genre on Xbox 360. Like Dead
And
Space,
they made the remake. It made it so much better.
like Dead Space was its own breed of like you brought back traditional horror. You're afraid of the environment because it's creepy. The enemies that you're facing are scary and you're afraid of them. It wasn't just jump scares.
Also, another game that I did a playthrough on. Go check it out.
Dude, him and this guy, they just did what you did 3 parts of it already? You already finished the game, didn't you?
Me and our buddy Tom are doing a co-op playthrough of Dead Space 3. As of right now, by the time this recording is out, it's probably already done. We don't know. See how that goes. But we need like one more stream, and then it's gonna be done.
So please go and check that out. Dead Space is such a fantastic game. I highly recommend it. If you haven't played it, please do, especially since it's remade, which means it's beautiful.
Well, not Dead Space 3.
No, I'm saying
No.
Dead Space remake in
Yeah,
general.
one. Yeah, one.
Yeah,
Just
like
clarify.
Dead Space remake is fucking beautiful. It's so different from when they first released it in like 2005.
Yeah, check out the stream. It's in the live section of our channel. It's still there. The VOD's still there.
And remember to
The
go to the
entire thing.
live. Sorry, and remember to go to the live section. It's not going to be in the video section. It's going to be in the live section.
Yeah,
Shameless
I
plug.
love horror games, and if a good one comes out, I will be doing more playthroughs because I love horror games.
And then also, I saw you guys start teasing it at Summer Games Fest. Give me the second part to Shadow the Damned. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the end of this episode of the NoSkill podcast. This time, we now also know as it's outro time. We did it. We made it to the end of the spooky episode. Are you guys spooked? I certainly am. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. As per usual, we're going to take it down the line and get some lasting closing arguments, statements, questions, comments, concerns from the lads. We're going to go different. We're going to start with you, Big and Blue.
All right. Chainsaw Massacre game is mid. It's not all that scary.
He's not wrong.
Just saying, and it's unbalanced, but whatever.
Then closing statements from me. Give me Shadows of the Damned 2. You haven't played Shadows of the Damned 1? Do yourself a favor. It's a funny game where you run with a talking gun called the Boner. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Mikey.
Changing gears slightly. No boner jokes here. I hope everybody had a good time. I hope you guys enjoy your to everybody in the audience, whatever you may be, wherever you may be. Happy holidays, happy Halloween, and enjoy spooky season.
And also, please stay safe. Halloween tends to be a holiday where people might be a little bit irresponsible on the roads. So please, if you're driving anywhere, drive safely. If you're going to be drinking, have a designated driver or get an Uber, please. That's all I ask. I want you to be safe on this day. And I want you to come back to this channel. I want to talk to you guys more, and I want you guys here. Okay? So, on the note, ladies and germs, thank you for hanging out with us. Just a heads up that down below, there's some buttons in the comment section. I highly suggest you do whatever you want to with them. And we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.